Hello everyone, Shomai Bob. I'm Jason Shepherd from the Learn Welsh podcast, and I was looking at Wales Online, and they have these fun lists, and this one caught my eye. It says 20, my iPad's down there if you're wondering, 25 ways people know you're Welsh without you actually telling them. Now I had a quick look through the list, and some of these points we've gone through before, but it's in a different context. It's looking at if people know we're Welsh or not. I'm not sure I would say that every one of these will tell them that we're Welsh. But anyway, let's look at the list. Let's see what they say. Number 1, someone calls your name and you accidentally answer Amma. Now this is going back to the register in school when you would put your hand up and say, they say, Jason, here. But some schools, Welsh schools obviously, you'd use the word Amma. Probably you might use Fan, I don't know, because that's another more colloquial way of saying here. But anyway, you'd say the Welsh word for here in a Welsh school. And I know when I was 5, 6, that kind of age, I know in school sometimes they took the register in Welsh and we'd put our hand up and say Amma. So that's what that is referring to. Number 2, you tell people you'll meet them now in a minute. I'm not sure that's going to tell you the person's Welsh as much as tell you that they're Southwest Wales, because I'm not sure they use this all over Wales, but certainly my part of Wales, Swansea, where I come from, you'll hear, I'll be there now in a minute. I see you over there, over by there, now in a minute. That's the ultimate sentence. By there, you put by there in, not over there, over, by there, now in a minute. Number 3, you start and end sentences with alright. Alright, alright. I personally don't tend to end my sentences with alright, but I start them sometimes. I'll go, alright, how are you? I haven't seen you in ages. But not normal sentences. Maybe some people do, I don't know. Number 4, you call your local shop owner Die Shop. This isn't as popular as it used to be, but there was a time when people would call all the shop people sort of John the Butcher, Eddie the Grocer, that kind of thing. It's not as popular now as it used to be, but I suppose in some parts of Wales, maybe more colloquial, maybe more smaller areas, maybe that still goes on, I don't know. But I mean, not where I live or in Swansea, you know, they're bigger areas, so maybe that's why it doesn't happen so much. But my gran used to talk about Die the Shop and John the Butcher, those kind of things. She used to call people those names. She used to tell me stories about them. Oh, when I used to go down and I'd see Die Shop. So maybe it's an older thing, maybe not. I'm going to make sure this one's on the screen below. Year, and year all sound the same when you say them. Well, yeah, in Wales, we tend to pronounce those words, well, this part of Wales at least, the same way. I keep saying this part of Wales because I can't talk for North Wales, Mid Wales, maybe they don't, but I can talk for this area a little bit more. So, year, and here all sound the same when you say them. And we do tend to pronounce them all the same way, yeah. You think it's okay to sing on the bus? I know if we used to go on a coach trip and it was like going to see the rugby and we all knew each other, we definitely do a lot of singing. We definitely sing a lot. Or years ago, people used to, from the same street, would all go on holiday and they'd book a coach, they'd all go together, and then, because they all knew each other, so maybe they would sing on the bus. And you thank the drive when you get off. Yes, that is very important. If you just want to say thank you to the driver, you would say, thanks, drive. But if you want to be real reverential, you'd say, cheers, drive. 8, you think Twin Town is the best film ever. Well, it's not. It's quite good. It's fun. It's a good film. I went to see it back in the 90s. I was as a student, so on Wednesdays, we'd have Wednesdays off, Wednesday afternoons. I went to see it, and normally there'd just be me and a few other people in the cinema, but there was me and a load of old ladies who all went to see the film because their grandson was an extra, or their granddaughter, or their niece or nephew. And you should have seen their faces when they heard all of the swearing, because there's a lot in Twin Town. It was quite funny. They were funnier than the film in some parts. Number 9, you dress for all weathers when you go out. Yes, if you live in Wales, you've always got a jacket with you just in case it's going to rain. And usually, when you've got a jacket with you, it's really sunny. And when you've got nothing and you're just wearing a t-shirt, it pours down. That's the law in Wales, I think. Right. Number 10, you describe lunch as dinner. Yeah, some people say dinner. I'm going in for my dinner now. And you describe dinner as tea. So tea time would be about 5 o'clock. We always, growing up, thought of dinner as being a little bit later, for posh people. We'd say 2 o'clock, but the posh people would call dinner 6, 7. That's how we thought when we were growing up. And call these daps. Well, they're trainers. I think there's something different in America, but we call them trainers. Daps used to be those little canvas trainers that you'd have in gym. That's what we'd call daps. You say the word to after where and by before here. Where do you going now? Certain, not this part of Wales, but I think Newport Way, Cardiff, they tend to use that. You call this a toothbrush or a toothbrush? Yes, we do. We're not posh here. We don't say toothbrush. We say toothbrush or toothbrush. Number 15, you don't order rice, you order half and half. That is very popular, and some Indian restaurants will actually have that on the menu. Half chips, half rice with your curry. Not my thing. I prefer just rice, but a lot of Welsh people, they love their half and half. Number 16, you start all explanations with what it is. I've got to say, it's weird thinking that there's people in the world that don't start an explanation with what it is. That's just weird to me. That's how you start an explanation. That's the only way. You call people mun. It's dying out, the use of mun, at least this part of Wales. I used to hear it all the time. All right, man, how are you, man? I haven't seen you in ages, man. I suppose it's similar to saying, all right, man, how are you, man? But you don't hear it as much now. Let me know if you do and what part of Wales that is that you're from, because I'd be interested to hear the differences. Number 18, and your butt is not what you sit on. Well, I never heard the word butt as in buddy. All right, buddy, all right, friend, all right, mate, as I would say. People often say, all right, butt, hiya, butt. I never heard it in Swansea. When I moved to Bridgend, I heard it all the time. I thought it was an old-fashioned thing, but no, I hear it everywhere I go. I can't get myself to use it yet. I still say, hiya, mate. All right, mate. But one day I will say, all right, butt. You don't get cross, you get tamping. Now, tamping is sort of angry, but you don't tend to hear people say tamping. You hear them saying tamping mad. I'm tamping mad, which means I'm very angry. Number 20, you go nuts when Tom Jones comes on in a club. I assume they mean when the music is playing in a nightclub or something. Not that he comes into the club and starts singing. That would be great. Any Welsh singer, and we will go nuts. Even Shirley Bassey, not my favourite. We will go nuts if we hear any Welsh singer. But if it's Tom and if it's Delilah, we'll start singing along as well. Do all the actions. And cry when you hear Hen Wlad Fy Nhadau, the national anthem. I'm not sure if I'd cry, but I'd certainly get very proud, and I'd be singing with pride and singing my heart out, and I'd be there, Wlad, Wlad, in a rugby match, and in a concert, maybe before a concert starts. We love our national anthem, and we have a lot of pride for our country. Number 22, you call this Tesco's. Now, that's weird seeing the sign, because everybody calls it Tesco's, and when you see it's actually called Tesco, I feel like, oh, it's actually called Tesco. That is weird. 23, when you're on holiday, you check the weather back home. Yeah, when I went to LA a few years ago, it wasn't a holiday. It was I went out there to a festival to teach some Welsh, but I did have some downtime. And yeah, I'd be checking the weather back home. Oh, it's not quite warm. It's not that warm, is it? And the first year I went to this festival, I went for about 3 years. The first year, it was warmer back home than it was in LA, which is weird, but we had a heat wave in Wales at the time. Number 24, walking around with one of these pinned to your chest does not sound weird. Well, it would sound weird if you had a full leek pinned to your chest on any day other than St. David's Day. That would be weird. But we do have these little sort of felt versions, and you'll see people wear those all through the year. 25, you cheer when you see this. Yes, it's the Severn Bridge. And yes, we do cheer when we're coming from England, coming back to Wales. And it's like, oh, I'm coming back home. And it always feels like it's raining, the England side. And as soon as you cross the bridge, it's bright and sunny. That's what it feels like. It's probably not really. But it's always exciting when you come home. It's sad the holiday's finished. But look, we're about to cross the bridge and go home, back to Wales. Well, there we are. That's the list. If there's anything that you can think of, anything you want to add to this list that you think tells people, yes, those people there, they're Welsh, then put it down in the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, give us a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of our videos, why not subscribe? And if you'd like to see every video as it comes out, why not click the little bell? Well, thanks again for all your support. It's amazing. And if you're not supporting us at the moment and you would like to, you can go to learnwelshpodcast.co.uk and join the Learn Welsh Podcast Club, or you can go to patreon.com/learnwelsh. You get loads of extras for your support. You'll get videos early, quiz questions, extra videos, loads and loads of stuff. And a big thank you from me as well. A big diolch yn fawr iawn from me. A very big thank you for helping us to keep this channel going. Well, it's time for me to go, and I'll see you soon. Hwyl! Bye!